What is going on, guys? Hopefully you guys are doing well. Today we're going to talk about Internet Computer and why this is such a powerhouse cryptocurrency project. Many people are starting to understand what this project literally has standing behind it. Now, if many of you don't understand how Internet Computer works, we're going to uncover all those layers today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you down basically the path to understanding, just to give you some mindset on what Internet Computer is all about. Then you're going to be able to uncover the potential value. So make sure you guys stay through to the end, guys, because I got something for you at the end that's going to change the way that you look at cryptocurrency. So let's get into this video, guys. Internet Computer, uncovering the value. First and foremost, we need to look at what Internet Computer does as a system. And how do we really gauge it? Like, how do you understand if you're very new into understanding what this project's about? Well, let's go ahead and stand it or put it in comparison to what the current Web 2 space is. So looking at Web 2 today, we understand that it's basically a centralized web service where we can give out our data and information freely. So it's basically the power of everybody else that's behind Web 2 that's going to be able to control our data. What Internet Computer has done is said, hey, time out. We're going to create a system that's totally decentralized, right? So what is unique about the way that they set that up is essentially that they're doing a decentralized web space that is 100% run on the chain, on the blockchain. So let's get into how this system is actually built. The way that Internet Computer has designed their system, it's essentially an autonomous serverless cloud. So when you think of autonomous serverless cloud, is that it doesn't require anybody to manage that cloud. This is like a free-spirited cloud. Now on this cloud, it could essentially host data, logic. It provides tamper-proof and unstoppable software with the ability to scale horizontally. Now, I might have blown your mind right now with just those little bit of sentences, but what I want you to do is understand that when it comes to data and logic, that's essentially what Web 2 does. It takes data and logic, basically the information that routes it to somewhere. Now, on the flip side, when I talk about scaling horizontally, what I mean is that Internet Computer has the ability to consume traffic. Why is this important? I'll get into that a little bit later, but what I want you to understand is that it has the ability to basically take on a massive amount of users that are using this informational highway, right? Because now with Web 2, once it was introduced, it was a matter of being able to introduce a website and for someone to go on and go into there and utilize that website. Over time, it's grown so much that now we're doing transaction payments. Everything that you could think of is going on in Web 2, which is a centralized website. But the problem is that we have no control over the information that we throw out there. What Internet Computer is doing is designing to take that back from the creation and put it back in the hands of the users. So let's look at some more information behind Internet Computer and how this all goes into play. Essentially, what Internet Computer, his main focus on was to be able to maintain and handle and perform HTTP. For any new users or newbies to computer information, that is just called Hypertext Transfer Protocol. What that essentially is the foundation of what the World Wide Web is. So there's always a HTTP addressed to any website or any area inside the web that you go to. Now, that is simply just a tag or routing information. I'm going to call it a router, like a routing information, just like a bank account has an account number tied to a routing number. That routing number is always going to be addressed to that specific HTTP address. But anyways, we won't get into that too much. But what we're going to do is also understand that Internet Computer has allowed to have developers build a sovereign system and sovereign services, basically self-governed systems where essentially there's no need for any firewall protection because of the security that decentralization causes. So with the blockchain and the security formatting, it actually allows everything to happen without needing all these extra protection for your computers, for your systems, however you're utilizing the cloud web service. So without needing firewall protection, I mean, you could already see what the path is that we're going to. We're going on a path of essentially not needing to rely on all this extra spending to be able to use internet service. And that's what ICP, or Internet Computer, is pushing to accomplish. So what does this all mean when it comes to Internet Computer and how important it is for us as users? So what this essentially means is that developers can build on Internet Computer basically with the luxury of serverless features, right? Using tamper-proof code. And the system is so great to be able to build on Internet Computer. Internet Computer, and now these are all technical terms, but Internet Computer has allowed their system to be able to integrate, to use software, coding software like Rust and Python, which are like two of the most easiest. And I've talked to many people that have done Rust and are actually Python, that use Python to code. And there's even videos on YouTube where you can actually go and learn how to do Python coding. Now, this is what's so unique, because being able to build and develop with this software, which is simple, and having the ability to build with sovereign services that just run simultaneously and control their self-governed systems, where there is no mechanism where somebody could get in the way. And to top it off, everything is 100% on chain. Now, that's basically a significant advantage to any type of development within this field. If you would have the ability to talk to developers, they would totally agree that this is the more efficient, effective way to develop on a cryptocurrency chain. You know, one of the biggest contributions that Internet Computer is doing is, again, the shift from centralized internet to decentralized internet. Now, Web 2 essentially relies on intermediaries that basically control the platforms. But Internet Computer enables like peer-to-peer interactions without the need for intermediaries, and it offers more control and ownership to us users. But what type of problem is Internet Computer solving? That's what I started to think about, is like, are they actually solving a problem for building this decentralized system? And it took a little bit of digging to understand what that looked like. But once I wrapped my head around it, the savings using this system are impeccable. So, I mean, if any of you are familiar with the way that companies run and the way that companies work, essentially it's like this, right? So we have companies that are basically managing our current Web 2 space, right? Our centralized system that's in place. So looking at the cost that it takes to run Web 2 versus Web 3, we're essentially cutting all this money out. And this money is 1.8 trillion just on IT personnel. That stuff goes out the window, especially with Singularity Network also starting to come in. And from what the developers are creating and the way the Internet Computer built this system, it eliminates $1.8 trillion on IT personnel, period. $900 billion on software and updated software. $600 billion on big tech clouds, out the door. We don't need it. $224 billion on cybersecurity. $50 billion basically reported from Gartner, who is a cybersecurity consulting firm that investigates cybersecurity vulnerabilities. So these are some huge savings. And to me, that is going to be very cost effective for a project like this. Now, when big businesses catch on to this, this is going to drive so much money into Internet Computer. This is where the super bullish part comes for this project. Just be based on the system alone. We're not even getting into the ecosystem. We're not even getting into what they got working on the platform. We're just talking about the system that they've built solely. That's it. Now, what type of security placement does Internet Computer have? traditionally we use basically a login and a password to protect us, and we've seen that fail over and over and over again. How many times have your accounts been hacked? How many struggles or challenges have you had just with this type of security measure or security layer? Now, what Internet Computer has designed basically added features like seed phrases, face recognition, fingerprint to log in. So these are really cool features that essentially who could take the place of, who could copy your fingerprint, right? So these attributes are going to be huge. Other advantages that Internet Computer has put forth is to basically take our traditional platforms that we're used to, like Twitter, Amazon, Coinbase, and essentially all Internet of Things companies. But Internet Computer has put a system in place for them to basically integrate into the blockchain without even having to revamp or modify. Just simply upgrade through ICP or Internet Computer and connect, and that's it. They don't have to redo their whole platform. They could keep the same platform that they have, but just integrate it through Internet Computer, and that it takes them from even having to build a blockchain specifically for those types of platforms that are already in place. One thing I wanted to do is kind of compare a little bit of Internet Computer with Ethereum. So just for, you know, tads and giggles, I'm not going to say the S word, but just for tads and giggles, I really want to look at how Ethereum stores smart contract logic. Okay, so that's what they do. They store smart contract logic, but Internet Computer dApps run entirely on chain. So there's no need to hide it. Everything stays in the open, but with a security measurement that is pretty much bulletproof. Also, Ethereum deals with like heavy traffic capacity. So I don't know if you've ever used Ethereum, where when there's a lot of traffic and the markets are up and people are trying to basically sell off or take profits, Ethereum generally starts to bump up with some ridiculous amounts of fees, right? There's been times where you could actually use Ethereum and make a transaction for $4. But then there's some times where it's you know, $100, especially if you use something like Uniswap and you're working through there and you're trying to get a, you know, a cheap cryptocurrency coin from somewhere you can't pick up off of regular exchange. You're using Uniswap. Well, guess what? You know, you're buying $100 worth and you knock off like 40 out of that 100. You're only getting $60 worth because you just dropped $40 in transaction fees. So those are the types of things that Ethereum deals with. Now, Internet Computer has the power, based on their scaling horizontally, to basically handle up to millions of transactions per second. That's the type of system that they have, and the fees are low. So I've always thought that this actual project will kind of surpass Ethereum. Now, are we there yet? I honestly think so, but you know, I think it's just going to take a little more time for people to adopt. But here's the deal. Internet Computer is a powerhouse system. It's actually, you know, one of the more robust system, and the difference is that everything's out in the open. Everything's on chain. So there's really no need to consume any storage space or anything like that, because everything's protected through the blockchain. So powerhouse, and I believe that many other cryptocurrency projects believe in Internet Computer too. Hence the reason why Singularity Network has reached out to Internet Computer to help start scaling out their cryptocurrency project. I think that Singularity Network has found a very strong use of Internet Computer, and there's things that Internet Computer can do that other crypto projects can't do. So that's why they reached out to him. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to follow the whole Singularity Network Internet Computer merge, our partnership, and stay on it. So make sure you guys always stay in tune with these videos, guys. I hope you guys got something out of this. We're going to follow Internet Computer, and we're going to follow the partnership with Singularity Network, and we'll see how amazing the Internet Computer project goes, guys. This is a very, very, very valuable project with tons and tons and tons and tons of growth right in front of it. So this will be as big as Ethereum. Mark my words. Hope you guys like this. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button. Before we head out of here, I got this little special gift that I want to share with you. Let's go.